Hello, welcome to Retrotainment Recast. I'm back here with the two boys I lost last week. There was brown envelopes passed around. I was shafted out of it again.
Carl, pass them back, will you? I need a sub.
I'm back in the judging seat, but I gave the boys a real monster here to deal with in Gladiator. More because I wanted to rewatch Gladiator than see it recast. If I'm perfectly honest, it's been a while.
I've been waiting for an excuse to rewatch it. I had it on the list on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, when?
It's a 2.5 hour one, so you're kind of like, do I have the time to rewatch something? Like, you'll spend 2.5 hours watching something new, but you're like, do I have 2.5 to watch something I've already watched as good as it is?
This is such an excellent film.
Yeah,
the funny thing is, though, you're saying it's 2.5 hours, right? But like, you'd gladly sit down and watch 3 or 4 episodes of a show that'll take 2.5 hours.
No, you will, but it's a little bit different when you're committing the 2.5 hours. Like, if you're watching a show, you're like, I can just get up and leave after one if I really need to. 2.5 hours, you're like, oh. Now it speeds in. That being said, the 2.5 hours, like, it's one of the faster.
Yeah, the first hour really flies by in this.
Yeah, the whole thing kind of speeds by. You don't really notice how long you've been watching. But obviously Gladiator, the classic 2000 film. Carl comes in as our reigning champ.
Challenger.
No, he doesn't. Comes in as our
challenger.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he's Greg comes in.
Just saying it early. Just getting
it out there early, Greg. I didn't see any brown envelope coming in from you, so.
I mean, I sent it to your Revolut, but you don't use that.
Yeah, I don't have Revolut, so you see, that's your problem. Carl sending proper envelopes.
That sounds like a you problem.
Well, no, because the money's gone out of your account, and you're not going to win because Carl has sent an actual brown envelope to my house. So, all very good.
Fine, I've got cans of the black stuff. It's fine.
Carl comes in as our challenger. Greg is our reigning champion. This is the last show of the year, so we'll see who can walk into the new year as the champion of the year. Yeah, be a very interesting one. We'll see who can go in.
Considering I've been the longest person without one, I think it's only fair that I win this one.
Well, we'll have to see. But if you boys want to send in your picks there, just so we can verify if there's any skullduggery.
2 seconds, Turkish.
That's a word not used often enough. 3, 2, 1.
That's definitely the wrong picture.
Oh shit! Oh, Greg, what the hell is that?
Oh Lord,
that's a dick pic right there.
Right, 2 boys have sent them in. Phones are down, so we'll get started. I suppose we'll start with the elder statesman of the film in Marcus Aurelius. Richard Harris, very Irish born, solid stuff.
It was a big old name, really, in terms of acting. I know he kind of ran his course and he was at the end of his career at this stage.
Yeah, well, that's during
filming.
Yeah, he died during
filming.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
they smothered him. Do you remember?
He gets all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
For some reason or another, I thought he died during filming Harry Potter.
He was Dumbledore.
No, that's why I thought he died during the filming of that.
No. He died.
I remember it was this one.
It was during the filming of this.
Yeah.
But it's a great choice. As you said, he was a big name going into it, so he's one of the bigger selling points of the film, even though he is quite a minimal character in it.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. Like, he is at the end of his career, and I think they brought him in sheerly. Like, it wasn't just for his acting ability in this one. I think it was brought in by Ridley Scott for his name.
Yeah, now the acting ability is very solid in it, to be fair. Like, he isn't in it for long, but he does it brilliantly. All
over the place. He does it very well.
But who have you got, Greg?
I went with Jeremy Irons.
Okay.
Who was obviously a thing, but like, he's most known for voicing over Scar.
Yeah.
Well, he's in loads of other stuff.
Plenty of films.
Yeah, no, he is. He has a repertoire behind him.
He has a big name. Like, essentially, he's probably as big as Richard Harris is, or was.
Yeah, probably is.
Acting ability is fine. Age is good enough to be the Emperor of Rome at one stage.
Yeah, the dying Emperor of Rome. Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of strikes you as a guy who wants to try and do right, apart from Scar.
Yeah, kind of has the look as well, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he does.
He actually looks sickly in most things he's in.
Yeah, but Carl, who have you got?
I went with, and it's not just a coincidence that this guy replaces Richard Harris, because he's done it before. I went with Michael Gambon.
Yeah,
another good actor.
He replaced him as Dumbledore. He can replace him in this role too. Again, I'm sticking with the Irish-born older actor, big name. Has the acting chops and the ability to do this role.
Yeah, he does now. Yeah, definitely two very solid choices. I
can't really argue much against either because both are good choices.
Yeah, no, they are.
So,
they're both very...
you have a tough choice here, but all I'll say is, it's been proven before that Michael Gambon can replace Richard Harris.
And at this point, I could try and argue the age, but the two of them are good actors. One's 81, the other 73.
Yeah, and I mean at that point, you don't tend to look a whole lot different between those two ages.
You don't tend to step down either as an emperor of a country, or wouldn't even call it an empire, really.
Yeah. I went with Bernard Hill, who would be best known for his Lord of the Rings work as King Theoden.
He's a good choice.
It's a good show.
I think he has, if you think about how he looked as Theoden, I think that character looks quite similar, but obviously Theoden's that bit younger. So if you age that character up another couple of years, I was like, that is, and he has the acting ability. He has the, he can play the kind of sad scene of, he thinks he's lost. Or well, not that he's lost in this, but in Lord of the Rings, he thinks he's lost things, and Helm's Deep is at its end. But he's also, you'd believe that he's an old veteran.
Sure.
Wasn't he the captain in Titanic?
I don't know.
That's another one I'd have to rewatch, to be honest.
No, you don't. It's shy.
Too long. I don't want to rewatch it.
I'm nearly sure he might be the captain in Titanic as well.
He might be, but it was Lord of the Rings that sold him for me. I was like, he worked very well in this.
He is the captain in Titanic.
Yeah. You boys have given me a tough one here. Jeremy Irons or Michael Gambon.
Gonna get screwed over by Harry Potter here.
I don't know. See, it's a tough one.
He's replaced him already. I mean,
he has,
but he's that bit older.
Yeah, but I don't think the age really matters.
Not really. I mean, at this stage,
I had to throw it back in. I did go for it against it, but
both of those actors, if they're going for a movie right now, they're both going to be offered the same roles. They're not getting offered anything different.
Time is now running out for them.
Yeah,
in terms of acting parts.
Yeah,
I was actually going to pick Al Pacino.
I think you would have lost there.
I think I'd probably have had an easier choice.
Surely just because of what he does and the way what he brings to the acting table.
Yeah,
but I think at this stage now it's time up for him.
I think. I think
these shoes.
The thing with Al Pacino would be more. He's Al Pacino would be more. He's the bad guy, really.
Yeah.
In that sense, you're not thinking of him as the dying king. I'm gonna go with Jeremy Irons. I just think he looks a little bit closer to it, and that's the only thing I can really use to differentiate them, because acting wise, they're both there. Age wise, they're both there.
Shout, though.
Yeah, no, they're both, but I just have to go with the one that I think. I always think of Michael Gambon as a bit more of a
pudgier kind of.
No, a bit more of a friendly figure, and I know that he can do. I know he has the acting ability to not do that. I just think Jeremy Irons. No, but I just think Jeremy Irons. Well, Dumbledore's not a villain, but I think Jeremy Irons. I think Jeremy Irons just has
Harry to his death from the start. He knows it's going to happen.
Yeah, but it's not really his death.
Lads, we'll get over this.
He's not really dead though, so that's fine. So 1-0 to the champion. He sticks a quick jab in there.
The old haymaker.
Yeah. We'll go with another kind of older character here with Proximo.
Okay.
I really like my pick for this one.
Oliver Reed originally played it.
Yes.
This role.
I thought you were picking Oliver Reed, and I was like, Carl, I don't think you can pick Oliver Reed here. It's a bit of a question.
Carl misinterpreted the rules.
He's kind of the mentor character. He's an old,
yes,
old battle-hardened warrior who has kind of taken up the mentorship role.
Yeah, and he's won his freedom before, which shows
exactly
that's what's wanted here.
Yeah, so I was thinking of someone who has played that role quite recently, within the last 5 years, and looking at pictures side by side, looks kind of similar kind of thing. I went with Mark Hamill.
Oh, that's a shout now. That is a shout.
You know, he
the recent Star Wars, the old
recent Star Wars. He does play an old battle-hardened warrior who has taken up a mentorship role.
Yeah, I don't need much more. Don't need much more than that. Mark Hamill is a shout.
I thought so.
You're on a tough one here, Greg.
I don't know. Mark Hamill isn't a great actor, lads. Let's be fair.
It's not a huge role in the movie.
It's a huge role, but it's not a thing. Like, it's the truth.
No, I won't hear a bad word.
The reason he didn't
I like Mark Hamill
majorly.
No,
I like Mark Hamill as well, but he's not a great actor. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, he is.
I like Henry Rollins as an actor, but he's not a great actor either. But sure.
For this sort of role, Mark Hamill works very well.
I think so.
I went to a Marvel character here. I went with Hugo Weaving, who obviously played Red Skull, and he was obviously Elrond, Lord of the Rings, and he's in every other film ever made.
Yeah,
Hugo Weaving I love Hugo Weaving as an actor. You know,
I do as well.
From Transformers to Lord of the Rings to the MCU, you know,
was he in Transformers?
He's the voice of Megatron.
V for Vendetta.
Was he?
He's the voice. Yeah, also V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
From the Matrix as well.
Yeah, he is in the Matrix.
Agent Smith. Yeah.
I
think he's the better actor.
I do like both choices, but for my choice, I had two, and I was kind of debating between them. As you said, it's the old battle. You know, he's battled his way out from the pits. He's become the bit of the mentor, but he's got a bit of an edge to him in the sense that he's like, don't forget, like, I do like you, but you are still making me money. You're still my property, so don't go thinking, I'm going to help you out every chance I get. The first person I thought of was Sean Bean. I was like, I think he could do this quite well.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, he can't because he doesn't die.
He does die.
He dies in everything.
Yeah, but Proximo doesn't die.
No. Oh, sorry, Proximo. I was getting confirmed or confused with Sean Bean.
Proximo doesn't die.
Proximo does die. They all run up. Remember when he frees them and then he puts his sword up like that, his wooden sword that says Proximo on it, and then they all stab him loads. He dies.
Oh yeah.
Of course he dies. I wouldn't have picked Sean Bean if the character was going to live, Greg. Like, come on. I thought he'd do this role quite well, but I also had one other name down on my list, and that's what's going to cinch it here. And then
Can't have been Mark Hamill.
It was Mark Hamill.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, not a bollocks, lads.
Sean Bean.
Mark Hamill's a terrible actor.
He's not. I love Mark Hamill. Sean Bean and Mark Hamill were the two, and it was partially to do with look, because I looked at Proximo and I was like, geez, that looks like
old. I did as well. That's where
that looks like old shot Mark Hamill there, doesn't he? So that'll level it up. We've taken out.
Do you know who I almost went with on this one? And you watch Spartacus.
Yes.
Do you know the guy in the first season who owns them all? He's also in The Mummy.
Yeah.
He's the comedy relief guy in The Mummy. I almost went with him.
Yeah.
I actually almost went with Brendan Fraser as well for this role.
Brendan, bro, I do like Brendan Fraser now.
Yeah, but no, I thought Mark Hamill would be perfect for this role. That's why I went, battle hardened.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of acting in this role either. So even with that, like Mark Hamill doesn't need that many lines. I think he'd do it very well. So we'll level it up there. That's our two older statesmen out of the way. That early jab wasn't really strong enough. He must have hit it with the left rather than the right. We'll go with the next oldest, I suppose. We'll keep going down. Gracchus.
Derek Jacobi.
Yeah, back to our current champion. Who you got?
I love how you said that with a hesitation, as if this is fixed.
I told you didn't send the brown envelope over.
That's fine. I'm just sending Finn up. He's going to wreck your gaff.
That's fine. Wreck him.
I don't know. Big old Aussies. No, I went with a guy I picked. I'm pretty sure it was the last episode. I went with Richard E. Grant again.
Okay.
Because he's a snaky, slimy prick.
Yeah. I don't know
that's the kind of thing you get off Gracchus for. Well, I got off Gracchus for 90% of this movie.
He's not. I suppose he is in one way. He's snaky, but he's snaky towards the evil emperor,
But
rather than
you're supposed to be helping that guy.
No, he's the he's meant to be the Senate, and the emperor is trying to get rid of the Senate, so he's doing the correct thing. So I suppose he's not really the snaky guy.
He definitely is.
I don't know.
I went with someone also with the last name of Grant, but I went with Hugh.
Oh, okay.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant for this role. I think, especially now, if you look at his last couple of films and actually TV shows as well, he did a great TV show with Nicole Kidman there recently. Can't think of the name of it. He was really good at it. His acting has gotten so much better from his early comedy rom-com stuff. Like he's actually turned into a really good actor, and I can definitely see him playing playing this role away.
Hugh Grant's getting the bin.
You know, I know it was a risky one picking Hugh Grant because of his older rom-com stuff, Bridget Jones and all that type of stuff. But if you've seen any of his stuff in the last couple of years, which again probably wasn't the smartest move, but he could definitely do this role in his older years.
I think even with like the fact that like his main stuff was rom-coms back in the day, I don't think he was ever really accused of being particularly bad in them either in terms of acting.
No, he was really good.
I think people just didn't particularly like the types of film he was doing, but he was good at them.
I mean, if you've seen
The Gentleman recently, or in the last 2 years, he stole the show in that.
I mean, we say it many times here. Once you have a thing, you can go to the well as much as you need to.
Yeah, and he worked very well in it. Like there's no denying that. The thing is, I went with Martin Freeman, who I think would have been really good in this role.
Very good show.
I think he'd have. I think he knocked both of your ones out of the water here.
I'd have given you that if it was if I had one or two.
Yeah, I think he's the one that you want in there.
Yeah, it didn't even come to mind, which it did.
I don't know.
I also went with Hugh Grant because at the moment he's not as big a name as Richard E. Grant. Richard E. Grant is knocking things out of the park at the moment, and this is a very small role. So I was he's what, third, fourth, fifth build. So I was going for someone that would gladly do that because he's been doing television recently.
Yeah. Do you know who I actually think Richard E. Grant would have been great as now? It's not someone that we've cast, but he's do you know the senator that's right in the emperor's pocket all the time? The other one that puts the snake. I think if we were casting him, that's Richard E. Grant, isn't it? Like,
yes, definitely.
Even looks wise, you're just like, that is Richard E. Grant.
Yeah, or even Commodus, an older Commodus, if he survived.
If Commodus survived, you could see him as that.
Spoiler alert.
The man dies.
The movie's 21 years old. If you haven't seen it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, that's your own fucking problem.
If you haven't seen it, go and fucking watch it.
Yeah, definitely go and watch it. With that said, I will still go with Richard E. Grant. I just prefer his acting ability. I do. If we were casting the other character, Greg would have been out of luck because that's exactly where I would have put him. Because I think he would have worked super well as that. But we'll keep it as that 2-1 to Greg. He's back with a vengeance for round 3. So we'll go into round 4 and we will go with Juba.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a whim here and say we have the same character for this.
There's a good chance that you might, yes.
Right. Originally played by Jaimin Hunsu.
What a man.
Who you could just put back in here again, to be honest.
Because he hasn't aged.
Has not aged. The man's a vampire. He hasn't aged today.
I went with John Boyega.
Oh no, we don't have the same character.
I think he can play this very, very well, and it's again him getting his name out in a big movie.
Yep. No, it's good. It's a good shout. Kind of minor role, but similar to Star Wars in that he wasn't the big name of Star Wars. He's not the main focus, but he's important enough that you remember him. Yeah,
he's memorable. Jaimin Hunsu. This was his first real big film, and you remembered Jaimin Hunsu. You remembered him from this movie.
You do, yeah. You definitely remember his part.
It's the type of role I can see John Boyega doing.
Yeah. Greg?
I actually thought we would have had the same here. I went with M'Baku again. I went with Winston Duke.
I think he's too. Winston
big. Duke is like
He's 100% the person that's getting cast in this role.
No, Jabu's a big guy, but he's tall. Like he's not Winston Duke big. Winston Duke.
But there's nothing to say that he's not, though. You know what I mean?
No, I suppose there's not, but I think Winston Duke is an absolute.
He's a hoss
unit. Like that guy's.
Actually, this is actually. I think this might be the first time this has happened on Retrotainment Recast. We actually had John Boyega and Winston Duke up for the same role as Clubberlang. I think it's the first time we've had the same two people go against each other ever.
Well, lads, when you look at it, right, I'm just looking it up here. Jonathan Hunt is only 57. He 100% could have fit right back into this role.
Yeah,
probably could have. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but as always, that's not an option. I think this is going to be another first for Recast in that I have one of yours picked, and it is John Boyega. So,
nice.
What's been another first?
I think that's the first time we've ever both picks that Carl has put down have been the picks I've had down.
Oh,
twice in a row.
Yeah,
I think that's a first.
2 Star Wars characters.
Also, you have both won your respective things. So Greg's won his 2. You've won your 2.
Yeah, it's been a while since it's been this close.
If it keeps up like that, Carl, you are in an awful lot of trouble.
I know. I'll be losing.
Yeah,
I'm fairly confident with.
Yeah, no, John Boyega was the first name that came to me. I think he's around the same sort of height, and I think he's around the same sort of build. Winston Duke, I do like Winston Duke, but Winston Duke is he's too physically imposing. I think he would steal the show, which is what you need him not to do.
John Boyega is 13 centimeters shorter,
but it's not
than Jonathan Hansu.
Yeah, but Winston, I think Winston, if you have someone like Winston Duke standing beside anyone in there, he kind of steals the show.
Winston Duke looks more like the big guy.
But again, it's at a point that nobody defines what he looks like.
It's true.
There's not to say that he's not a big unit. Reagan is in there.
He's the best friend. He's the best friend.
He's the sidekick.
So he doesn't look as intimidating as Maximus.
Yeah.
He's bigger than Russell Crowe is.
That was done on purpose, though.
Yeah, he is bigger, but for me, Winston Duke is so big, tall and wide.
Exactly what I said. He's more like the other guy, whatever his name is.
He's just so tall and wide that I think he would steal the spotlight.
I don't think so, but sure, look.
I think he's also got that. I think he's got that different type of charisma. He's got a show-stealing charisma rather than a sidekick charisma.
Sure, look.
That's the way I was thinking about it. Right, we'll go with. So we're 2-0. It's gonna have to be Lucilla here because we need to keep the two big names till the end. So it'll be Lucilla. So, Greg, who have you got?
Connie Nielsen originally. Connie Nielsen.
An absolute nobody.
Well, you say she's in Wonder Woman.
She's in Wonder, exactly. I was going
to say. Literally up until about 20 minutes before we came on, I had Rebecca Ferguson in.
Okay.
Okay.
And I changed away from it, and I went with somebody that we've seen play that kind of timid role, and then kind of come out as more aggressive. I went with Amelia Clark.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, you haven't seen it, Carl, in Game of Thrones, the first season. She's kind of timid and laid.
I've seen clips. Back. I know what she can play like.
Yeah.
We're going to trifecta for Star Wars, are we? Actually, we've already had the trifecta in Star Wars. We had Richard E. Grant. We're going for 4 from Star Wars.
So we're just casting Star Wars here, are we? Who
pretty much. I went with someone that I think both of you have actually used before.
Okay.
On different roles. She actually, upon reflection, looks an awful lot like Connie Nielsen does in this movie, and I think she'd knock it out of the park. Blake Lively.
I don't think I think
Greg's definitely used Blake Lively.
I don't think I've used Blake Lively.
I think Blake Lively would knock this out of the park. She actually looks fairly similar to Connie Nielsen. She has that regalness about her. She has to look regal.
She does.
I don't know if she overly does, really. She's kind of just.
She has to be
away in the corner.
She has to be a convincing mother as well.
Well, you don't see a whole lot of her with the kid.
No, but she's a convincing mother. You still do believe that she's a mother, and I don't see that in Amelia Clark yet.
I don't know.
You don't see anything with her and the kid really, bar when Commodus takes him.
Whenever Amelia Clark is on screen, all he can see is eyebrows.
I think the most.
This is coming from the same person that tried to cast Cara Delevingne in something. And when I made that point, they were like, no.
That was Batman and Robin.
Doesn't matter.
Classic film.
You argued that exact point about when I argued about the eyebrows, you were like, no, that doesn't actually count. So I'm defuncting his point there.
Classic.
I think I lost that. I think I lost that argument. So
he did lose that argument anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think the main part of where she's, you see her love for her child is actually without the child there. It is when she's in
with him, or
when she's
down with him.
No, when she's in the cell with
Maximus.
With Maximus, and she's telling him, does my son is innocent too, I think that's where you really see her mother instinct kick in.
True, even but you do see the motherly instinct.
You do to an extent. I didn't go with the choice that either of you had. I actually went with Audrey Plaza, who I think looks quite similar to her here, and I think she can play the strong kind of character as well as being a little bit timid at times when she needs to be.
I'm not even sure who that is.
I know Aubrey Plaza. I
do know who she is. I see her
more of a comedian.
I do know who she is. She was in the new Child's Play, and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's particularly her fault that it was terrible, to be honest.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying it was terrible.
I think she's quite a good actress. I think she'd do this role quite well. It's as much as the role is important, it's quite minimal as well. Like a lot of the roles in this are actually quite minimal. They're not they don't get a whole lot of screen time.
Yeah.
They don't really get a whole lot of screen time, so I do think that she'd do well. The person I did have down as my backup though was Amelia Clark. So
it's just it's more so I went with it. Remember that scene where she's with Drago and he's like, "Yeah, we're doing this."
Yeah,
and he just kind of like lays her down, and it's like, "Yeah, it's go time." And then when Commodus does that, she does the exact same thing. I was like.
There's also, like I know what Carl was saying about the motherly thing, but there is the
she has that with the dragons.
with the dragons, she does like
she loves them dragons.
It's not shown too much, but when when she thinks she's lost the dragons, you can see the fear and terror in her eyes during Game of Thrones. Obviously, since you haven't watched it, Carl, that's not one of the scenes that she.
I have seen clips. I think I know what you're on about.
Yeah.
The problem I have with Amelia Clark, and I know the thing's gone because you already had it written her down, although she wasn't your main pick. I don't like she's done Game of Thrones, but anything else she's done, even Star Wars, and I think Solo's a really good movie. She is not a good actress for movies.
I think she's all right.
Or
I think she's pretty good.
I've seen her a couple of things that she's been in, at least 3 movies that I've seen her in, and I don't know because she doesn't do it in the Game of Thrones, but she does in every other movie. All she does is her eyes and her eyebrows. She doesn't do anything else, and they're so animated.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I still like her.
She's a face actress, and there's no emotion behind anything. I don't think she's a very good actress. She was perfectly cast probably for Game of Thrones, but for things that she's done away from that, she has not performed well.
I mean, the character development in Game of Thrones was phenomenal. Going from the shy, timid,
timid girl to badass mental.
She had time to grow into that role, is my point.
Yeah.
She, in a movie, which is only 2.5 hours long, and she doesn't get an awful lot of screen time in it, she doesn't have the time to grow into that character. And
she's only technically a badass for probably the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
where she comes down and is talking.
I've seen her in other things. She does not have the acting ability to be able to grow into a role like she had as in Game of Thrones.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know. I do think she's quite a good actress, but it's obviously.
Have you seen her in anything else?
Yeah, I've seen her in Star Wars and stuff. I do think
she wasn't great as Kira. She wasn't great as Kira, and I really liked Solo, but I thought she was the weakest part of it.
I don't know. Yeah, I still quite liked her in it. So, but that brings it to 3-2. We're still on our, whoever goes first wins. So,
banking on a draw here.
The next one is obviously Commodus, because we have to keep the big gun until the very end. So, of
course,
Commodus up. Walk on Phoenix. Really thought he'd kick on from here. like his
But he
career
went a bit
kind of
mad, and he did that
kind of spiraled a little bit.
documentary type thing for years. But
he's back on the scene now.
Yeah.
So, Carl, it's up to you first. Who have you got?
I went with someone you've actually chosen before, and I know you have, because you do like him in a certain TV show that you watch.
Mm-hmm.
And that I've seen him in other things. He's actually a really good actor. I went to Cameron Monahan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he can play the weirdo, or the kind of creepy weirdo who is out looking for himself, kind of thing. And he's a good actor. He's a really good actor.
He is a very good actor. Yeah, that is
solid choice. Star Wars, isn't it? The game, the fall.
Yeah,
it's keeping up with the Star Wars trend.
Yeah, it's based on him. But yeah, no, he is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
So I've gone back. I had two on this, as you'll see by the picture there. I went with a guy who I'm not really very fond of, and I thought he was terrible in the remake of it. I went with Bill Skarsgard as the backup.
As your backup, okay, good. Because if that was your main choice, you would have already lost.
He was actually technically the first name I put down.
Yeah, but you're allowed to put down multiple names before you decide which one's your main. That's part of the game.
And then I scribbled that out because I was like, yeah, no, fuck that guy. I went with Timothée Chalamet. Very similar to Joaquin Phoenix in this one, like the same kind of build and whatnot, and he could play that slimy, squealy fucking cockweasel.
Yeah,
and you can picture him trying to ride his sister. To be fair,
I went with someone different. I went Game of Thrones here again, and I actually thought you might have gone here, Greg, which I thought would have banked you the point. Jack Gleason, who stepped away from acting for a little while, played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. I think he would have been a
rat bastard.
He is a proper little rat bastard, and I think he would have done very, very well in this. Now,
I don't know if he has the acting ability though. Like essentially, Joaquin Phoenix's acting ability is 100 times better than his.
I don't know if it is. Like, you've to remember, think back to when Game of Thrones was out, how people hated him.
Oh, they hate him, yeah.
Like, he was despised.
They hated the little kid from Batman. For that.
Yeah, like he was proper despised. So he really did get into that role. Now, obviously neither of you know this because neither of you have said it, but he based quite a lot of Joffrey on this character, on Commodus.
Fair.
So that would be
an argument. Is he back acting though? Is he back acting?
He is back acting because I did look this up.
Like class of 52.
he has gone back to acting. He did take a break after Game of Thrones, but
he has gone back to
he has stuff coming out this year. He's in something on TV this year for a few episodes, and then he has something coming out next year. So he has come back.
Fair. I'm glad because he is a good actor. He did make
he is very good. But obviously, there could be the argument of, well, if the film didn't exist before, would he have ever been able to do Joffrey as well? But you have to take into account that
this movie's coming out today. We're recasting it coming out today.
But that's what I'm saying. The argument could be used that, well, would he have done Joffrey the way he did if this film hadn't already come out? But that would be an argument if either of you were battling against me. But we're going to stick to the trend here. I think Cameron Monahan he was one of my backups, and I think he would have been a really good choice for this. He's got the kind of the crazy in him that I can see him being like, yes, I'm cowardly, but I will kill my dad by, smothering him and then lying about it to everyone, even though everyone kind of knows I did it anyway.
Exactly.
Like everyone's like, he probably did it. And
I can definitely see him down in the last scene, trying to attack him, with the knives.
Not stabbing him before he fights him, and he's like, put the breastplates back over him. So we're down 3-3 and into the final round.
Here we go, Greg.
Let's see if the trend continues. Who goes first gets the win. Obviously, Maximus Decimus Meridius,
leader of the foreign armies.
Yeah. Have you got the next line, Greg?
The which? You kind of broke up there.
Oh, Maximus Decimus Meridius,
leader of the foreign armies.
Commander General of the North.
No, the Phoenix Legion. Right, Greg's out. Carl wins. Right. Go on, Greg. Who have you got as your lead man here?
So I had 3 here.
Okay.
One we used in the last one with Kit Harington. Obviously, Game of Thrones. And whatnot.
Okay.
I kind of banked on that one when I was dealing with it with obviously swords and shit from Game of Thrones. I varied away from that and went to Chris Hemsworth, who obviously played Thor.
Yeah.
And I pulled away from that one. I haven't started a show that just told me to go and rewatch. I went with Henry Cavill, who was obviously The Witcher.
Yes.
Very
good Witcher.
Yeah. Now I did play the game, and I'm not overly
the game is tough.
The game, but the TV show, I'm starting to get into it now. I started watching it when I had time off after waking up from nights before I went and got the kids. So I started watching that. I think he could do the part very well.
Yeah, he could. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting one.
Wait, hang on. So you went with?
I went with Henry Cavill.
You did go with Henry Cavill. Okay, Grant, just to confirm that.
This is gonna really mess with your head, Greg. If you don't get this one because you would have backed out. I went with Chris Hemsworth.
Right, could be.
It's gonna mess with your head if it backfires on you. I think he'd be great in this role. Yeah. I really do. Chris, I think he has the look, he has the sort of accent kind of thing. He's a similar part of the world as Russell Crowe. I don't know.
Albeit Russell Crowe's Australian and Holland the Spaniard in this.
I'm glad nobody stuck with the, I better pick someone like Spanish.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, because I was like, he's not Spanish. They call him the Spaniard, but he is not
He's
Spanish.
Not. Yeah. We've even seen Chris Hemsworth say it in Thor Ragnarok. Are you not entertained? We've seen him already. I think he's absolutely perfect for this role.
So the first name that came to, well, not the first name, because I won't tell you the first name that came to my head. The second one that came to my head is someone we have used before, and it's John Berthamel. I thought he could be quite good in the fighting scenes.
He could be a bit rugged, though, isn't he?
That's the thing. He's a little bit probably too rugged. And I don't know. I do like him as an actor, but I don't know if he has the acting ability to do some of the scenes that were kind of done in this. Like this
isn't dirty. Like kind of way. I don't know he's a gladiator, but it's not a dirty.
Yeah, like I was gonna say,
kind of role.
I was gonna say, can he do the thing of the loss of his family, but he does that in Punisher, so he can do it. But it's a different, like the loss of his family angers him. But it angers him in Punisher. It fuels him. Whereas in this, he's sad the entire time. Like
he's distraught.
Like what pushes him isn't anger about his family being killed. What pushes him is killing the man who did it.
Yeah.
Which is quite different. So I did veer away from that. That was my second thought. And my first thought, and this was the first thing that I had down when I did cast this, was Chris Hemsworth.
Bullshit.
I was like, he's a
phenomenal actor.
He's a phenomenal actor, and I was
did you watch Extraction?
I really like Extraction.
One bad film does not make a bad actor.
I
haven't seen Extraction.
He's not great either, but sure, look.
I haven't seen Extraction, but he is a good actor. And it was the first name that came to my head when I thought of who would go in there and play that role. Big, strong, tough man that can command an army.
I mean,
Henry Cavill is a great shout.
If you're going with that, right? If you're going with that, and you told me that Winston Duke was too big, but you're going to cast Hemsworth, who's probably twice the size Russell Crowe was.
Yeah, but Winston Duke is too big. Yeah, but Winston Duke is too big because he's the sidekick. Your main man can be that bit bigger. Winston Duke, I think, is too big and too charismatic that he takes the shine off of the main man.
You're using the same point there. Henry Cavill is the same size as Chris Hemsworth.
No, he's not.
Henry Cavill's a
Superman.
Big unit. He was
Superman. That's fine, but he's nowhere near as big as Hemsworth is.
He is a unit, to be fair to him. I do like Henry.
Yeah, Russell Crowe's a unit, but Hemsworth's huge.
Yeah, they are, but he is the main man. So I think the point against Winston is that he's the sidekick, not the lead actor.
I don't know. I don't see it, but
what the Winston's
No, he's the sidekick. That's fine, but if you're casting someone that's that much bigger than Russell Crowe was, there wouldn't be much of an issue with casting Winston Duke as.
Yeah, but that's retrospective. Human. That's retrospectively casting. We hadn't cast Russell Crowe yet.
Yeah.
So I can't do it that way.
I feel the pain. That's happened to me before, Greg.
Has happened before, but I think Chris Hemsworth.
I've been champion and lost like that before.
I can see Chris Hemsworth is a very strong one to come in there. Henry Cavill is a good show. If I hadn't had Chris Hemsworth down, I probably would have struggled more in which way I would go there if I had decided on John Berthamel and then said I have to pick between the two of yous. I think I'd have had a tougher time, but because I do have Chris Hemsworth down, that'll have to be who I go with. So Carl takes the championship and walks into his fourth reign. They've all been quite short.
I call shenanigans.
All been quite short.
The first one wasn't. The first one I defended.
The first one was a decent length, but they've been relatively short.
I haven't defended again.
He walks into the new year as the champion, and I will be taking him on. But what film will we be doing, Greg?
Carl, do you remember when you pitched us this idea?
Oh, I do.
What movie did you use?
I had Con Air.
Well, we're not going to use that.
Okay.
We're going to go Ocean's 11.
Okay.
I was going to go with Con Air, but I was like, I just literally, I can see the DVD box from here, and I was like, Ocean's 11's good, has a big cast.
Yeah. Okay, I'm happy enough with that.
So,
right.
Ocean's 11 it is.
Ocean's 11 will be our first show of the new year. Obviously, follow both sets of pages. So obviously, the Retrotainment Recast on Facebook not on Facebook, on Twitter, and follow the Sherlock Reel on YouTube, follow the Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube, and
my Instagram as well. Don't forget to be voting on the polls.
The week after this comes out, so the first Thursday of the new year, Carl will have the votes up on his page on Instagram, so vote on them and let us see who you think should have won each role, and we'll see if the audience agrees with our new champion or if they think that Greg should have continued to retain. But until the next episode, good luck.
Happy New Year.